So we're in South Portland, Maine, Tower 37. It's a 10 by 47 drilled pier in Casco Bay. In Ed Farrington's mission statement, he says, we perpetuate safety, quality, and integrity, and it's a part of our culture. It's the blood of MJ. The thing that I would add to that is there's this spirit of MJ. We go above and beyond, and we always do what's right. So when we come to a project like this, in the very beginning, there was people that were very hesitant with us. There was a lot of people that had a lot of eyes on us. People weren't sure about the quality and the safety that we were going to provide on this project. And as we moved forward and they saw the things that we were doing and we were doing the right things, they really start to buy into the philosophy of always doing what's right, no matter what. And it's a lot harder to do that than it sounds. But it comes down to those guys right there that are doing it every day, and the ones that are following through on the things that people like me say that we're gonna do. They're where the rubber meets the road. And the quality of work and the hard work that these guys put in, it shows. So when we come to a project like this and they start to see us work, people start to open their eyes and see that these guys are really good at their craft. They understand what they're doing. They're not out here to cut corners. They're out here to do what's right, be safe, provide quality work, and have as much fun as we possibly can while we're doing it. You know, our guys, true and true all the way through, they pulled this thing together. I mean, they've got ice running through their veins. So the original foundations are being replaced with a single drilled pier foundation due to the fact that the original foundations have cracks in them. We constantly changed right away, and that was a challenge in and of itself because the plan had to keep changing with that. There's different requirements for each of those applications. Originally, they discussed putting in a cofferdam for us. From the cofferdam, it moved to a barge, a floating barge. From the barge, it moved to a trestle, and the trestle is the final utilization for access. We're in the ocean. We're dealing with the tides. There's heavy environmental requirements. There's also safety requirements go with that. A lot of the hard things were the means and methods of actually putting the foundation in. It's a 10 by 47 foundation with a 15-foot reveal. So the challenge there was figuring out the best way to safely do that while still maintaining high quality of work. There was a lot of discussions with our safety department about, do we need life jackets? When would we need life jackets? Are we covered with fall protection? If we go on the ocean floor, do we need life jackets? The rock drilling took us several days. We were limited with the timing of it for the weekend where we couldn't pour, but it ended up being a good thing because it allowed us to take a little bit of time to make sure that we were set up for our pour. We poured concrete on Monday morning. It was a challenge. There was a lot of people watching, a lot of eyes on us. It's nerve-wracking on the guys. It's taxing, that amount of stress, and they did an excellent job working through that. So this spec differed from what we typically do. The testing was above and beyond because of where it's going and just making sure that what's getting put in was quality. So we had to test the first truck. We had to test every 25 yards. Once we got up to ground level, we had to put synthetic fibers in the hole, which required a test, but we had to add the fibers on site after we tested. Once we got into the anchor bolts, we needed to test. There was just a lot of requirements. Every single truck needed a slump test. It was just above and beyond what we did. Typically, you can just let the testers go and they understand that every 50 yards we need to take a test, and it's usually relatively a simple process, but there was decisions that needed to be made on the fly, and we had to go down to that point of management where literally managing a small work effort like that, because if there was one hiccup or delay in that concrete, it would have delayed us even further and potentially made a lot of quality issues. We're here now and we're loading up all the equipment, we're loading up our tooling, we're gonna clean up the site, make sure that everything is nice and tidy for when we leave so that it looks great, so that when we leave, we're not getting a call back, so that anybody is worried about something that we left behind or a quality issue. We're really just buttoning everything up and we're gonna sail back into the sunset.